this video, we'll talk about something that's extremely simple in terms of understanding, though not as simple in terms of application. तो फंडा बहुत काम का है अगर आप एग्जीक्यूट कर पाएं तो. So in one of the other videos I did earlier, I talked about how picking out easy questions is the most important thing, when it comes to scoring high in mocks or even in the actual CAT for that matter. So when you pick out easy questions, you not only do a question in less time, but your chances of getting it right are also relatively high as compared to, let's say, questions that are difficult or even intermediate level. So that's a double advantage there. So here I'm going to talk about something that's exactly the opposite. So difficult questions. Now when you look at cricket में एक format होता है test cricket, right? उसको test बोलते हैं. किस लिए बोलते हैं? Because that really is a test of how good you are over a long duration of time. So something similar, CAT, in terms of testing your ability, testing your preparation, testing your temperament, testing how well equipped you are as a complete player, as a CAT taker, right? So that's the format that you're talking about. तो टेस्ट क्रिकेट में एक चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है कि आप कौन सी बॉल छोड़नी चाहिए आपको और वो आप कितने अच्छे से अप्लाई कर पाते हैं. So which are the balls which are likely to get you out, and those you just do not play or do not attempt to score off, because you just have to live to fight another day. When your moment will come and you'll probably give it back to the bowlers. So here in the context of CAT, difficult questions are extremely similar in terms of how they test you and what you're supposed to do with them. तो जैसा मैंने उस वीडियो में बताया था, let's say if there are roughly 100 questions on a test, some of them will end up being easy, some of them will be very tough, some of them will lie somewhere in the middle. So your first and foremost job is to pick out as many easy ones as you can and make them count. The second most important thing you can do is to just let go of a very high number of difficult questions. क्योंकि इन questions में होता क्या है, ठीक उल्टा होता है जो easy questions में होता है उसके, कि एक ये questions typically ज़्यादा वक्त लेते हैं. So you might end up spending 5, 6, 7 minutes on a single question if it's a tough one. दूसरा, इनमें आपकी accuracy भी आमूमन कम होती है. So invariably, or usually you'll find that if your accuracy in the easy questions is 80-85%, you'll find it dropping to 50% or even below in difficult questions. These are the questions that will typically take away almost 1/3 of your time in a section and give you close to a 0 or maybe even a negative score in terms of that contribution to that test score. So इनको किसी तरह आप अगर छोड़ पाएं, इवन अगर आप 1 या 2 मिनट लगा के भी ये डिसाइड कर ले कि यार ये क्वेश्चन तो गलत होने वाला है. सी व्हेनेवर आई टॉक अबाउट क्वेश्चन गलत होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट नॉन एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चंस. दोस यू शुड अटेम्प्ट एज मेनी एज पॉसिबल, एंड इवन इफ यू गेट अ फ्यू रॉन्ग, that's all right, but your speed there should be reasonably high. You should not endeavor to solve questions through and then mark those theta type or non-MCQ questions. Here I am essentially talking about MCQ type of questions, right? So keep that in mind whenever this sort of a discussion. But these questions also form the bulk of the CAT. So therefore any strategy has to be majorly keeping in mind these. So if you look at and analyze any mock of yours, chances are then you will see that differentiation कि easy questions में आपने कितना वक्त लगाया, कितने attempt किए कितने में से, और कितने आपके सही हुए. तो आप देखोगे marks per minute जो आपने easy questions में अक्सर ज़्यादातर हासिल किए होंगे वो कहीं ज़्यादा होंगे marks per minute जो आपने difficult questions में हासिल किए होंगे उससे. That in itself is a big indicator of what you can do without even doing anything. All you have to do is avoid as many of these kind of questions as you can. Now, of course, some of these questions which are classified as difficult, let's say in the MB Guru testing system or otherwise wherever you're taking your mocks from, some of those might be easy for you. तो अगर आपने किसी डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन पे ज्यादा वक्त नहीं लगाया है और वो उस एरिया से है, उस टॉपिक से है जो आपका बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया है, तो कोई हर्ज नहीं है. Then you can be comfortable with that part. But it should not be a bias. So if you pick up a question because you think it is from a strong area, but it actually is not, and you end up wasting a lot of time, even if it is from a strong area of yours, and you might be right. And then also, if your accuracy is not very high, then it's a problem worth looking at and solving also. So the 2-3 things that you should keep in mind here in difficult questions, जो भी difficult questions आपने attempt किए, आपने क्यों किए? क्या इस वजह से किए कि वो सेक्शन के बिगिनिंग में थे और आपके पास बहुत वक्त था, तो आपने सोचा ही नहीं कि ये डिफिकल्ट है, छोड़ना भी चाहिए कि नहीं, आपने काफी वक्त उसमें लगा दिया. ये एक वजह हो सकती है. या दूसरी वजह हो सकती है कि आपको लगता है यार ये टॉपिक मेरा बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है, आपने इस वजह से किया. That could be another reason. तीसरा रीजन हो सकता है कि आपका जजमेंट पुअर रहा हो उस वक्त पे. तो तीनों ही केसेस में once when you are analyzing your mock, if you are able to discern कि यार हाँ, this is where I got it wrong, I would have been far better off by just leaving 2-3 of these questions. I could have saved probably 15 minutes, and 15 minutes through the test could have got me a chance to attempt and get maybe 5-6 more questions correct. My score would have improved drastically without increasing my knowledge or preparation or anything of that sort, simply by virtue of leaving a few things that I was better off leaving. So this is, as I said, easy questions ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा करना और ठीक एक्यूरेसी के साथ करना, एक रीजनेबली हाई एक्यूरेसी के साथ करना, 80-85% एटलीस्ट के साथ करना एक बहुत सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है आपकी हाई स्कोरिंग के लिए. दूसरी चीज, डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस कम से कम अटेम्प्ट करना, अनलेस ऑफ कोर्स सारा ही एग्जाम डिफिकल्ट है. We'll talk about that in a separate video. Then of course your entire strategy changes, but normally that's not how things work. You have a fair sprinkling or spread of all different levels of questions, and we broadly classify them as easy, intermediate and difficult in most institutes, just for the purpose of understanding and judgment. So if you're able to leave big chunk of these questions and are able to divert that time towards relatively easy questions, you'll see a huge jump in your scores without any additional preparation. So this is something that you don't even need to sort of go back and study and work upon. This is something you simply need to be conscious of and apply during the actual test. So I hope you're able to do that. And if you think it makes sense, if you think it's something that you can relate to, and something that when you look back at your mocks is an area for improvement, do ensure that you press the like button and you share it with your friends who might be facing similar challenges in their CAT preparation. Together, we will be able to ensure that we overcome such challenges and are able to put our best foot forward in the actual CAT. ये वक्त है गलतियां करने का और सीखने का. As long as you're doing that, you're making good progress. Fine. All right then. That's it for now. See you soon again in another video. Bye bye. Take care.